Good morning, everyone. And we'd like to thank you so very much for joining us on this truly momentous day here at Sibley Memorial Hospital in the next stage of its evolution in its 125-year history. I'd like to start out with thanking and recognizing some of the dignitaries that have joined us today. Mayor Muriel, who is about 3 minutes away and will be here in just a second. Councilmember Mary Shea, Councilmember Jack Evans, Wayne Turnage is the Director of Healthcare Financing. I think I saw Wayne, there's Wayne in the back there. Dr. LaQuanda Nesbitt, the Director of Department of Health, right over there to the left. And Amha Salasi, who is the Director of the State Health Planning and Development Agency. All of these folks played a key role in helping us get to where we are today, so we thank you very much. Ten years ago, our Board of Trustees had a vision. And their vision was to build a world-class, state-of-the-art hospital that would be every bit the equal to the community that it serves. The opening of this beautiful new tower affirms our dedication to excellence, compassion, and innovation. It also represents a commitment to our community and those who trust us with their health care. This is the culmination of many, many, many people's hard work. We would not be standing here today on this truly historic day, however, without recognizing some individuals who played an absolutely key, integral leadership role in getting us where we are today. Our staff, our physicians, and our board members all contributed. I cannot tell you the thousands of hours of time to get us to where we are today. I want to recognize Ted Miller, the chairman of our Board of Trustees. Ted has ably led our board for many years and has gotten us to where we are today. I also have to recognize Dale Hoshite. Where's Dale? I saw him. There's Dale back there nodding that he doesn't want me to recognize him. So Dale has been on our board for 41 years. And Dale has led the Building and Grounds Committee of this organization for, I believe, at least 30 years, Dale. Dale, your fingerprints are all over our campus. And without your steady hand, we would not be here where we are today. So thank you. I would also be remiss if I did not recognize two other very special people. The first is Bob Sloan. So Bob Sloan, as many of you know, was CEO at this institution for 28 years. When I first came down here, everybody said, "How are you going to fill Bob Sloan's shoes?" And I said, "I'm not going to be able to fill Bob Sloan's shoes." Bob had the vision for this campus along with our board that was truly revolutionary. Bob, we thank you so very much for all of your hard work and dedication to our organization. Thank you. And the other person is Jerry Price. For those of you who know Jerry, Jerry has single-handedly, along with his team, gotten us to where we are today. We affectionately refer to this new tower as the house that Jerry built. I can assure you, every attention to detail was something that Jerry and his team sweated. On your tour today, you will see just the magnificent, magnificent outcome of that. And Jerry, I still remember the day that you tested each and every one of the slants of the floor of all 200 bathrooms in our patient rooms to make sure that the drains emptied properly. So we thank you. We also owe a special debt of gratitude to our many donors, whose gifts have been absolutely crucial in bringing our collective dream to fruition. Many individuals have pledged their support to make today possible, and we thank you. This new clinical tower embodies the spirit of our new mission to deliver excellence and compassionate care, every person, every time. And likewise, today we move one step closer to the advancement of our vision, to be a role model for innovation in healthcare and wellness for all. So it is now my privilege to introduce the Honorable Mary Shea, DC City Council Representative for Ward 3, and Jack Evans, Council Member Representative for Ward 2. And I will tell you, both have been long-term supporters of Sibley, and we so appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Good morning, everybody. I'm delighted to be here in this amazing building, and I want to extend congratulations to Sibley and to Chip Davis. I want to say how much I agree that we're so proud that you have a building to match the magnificence of the doctors, the nurses, the staff, the administration, the entire family of Sibley. It is magnificent, and while I've had several surgeries here at Sibley and have a special place in my heart for Sibley, I hope not to come as a customer. In any case, this is part of the ward that I represent, in Ward 3, so I consider you also my constituents. I'm with Jack Evans, who is the council member from Ward 2, our adjoining ward, and it's close enough. We're all neighbors, we're all family. We would like to present a resolution that the council adopted unanimously. But before I do, I want to ask Jack if he wants to say a few words.
Sure. Thank you very much, Mary. First of all, good morning, everyone. And what a great event it is to be here today. And I want to take this opportunity to quick recognize our mayor, who is here, Muriel, doing a fabulous job representing our city and really leading us into the weeks, months ahead as a great city in our country. This is a great day. I have spent a lot of time working with Sibley over the years, and as many of you know, my wife, who passed away 13 years ago, was treated here at Sibley excellently, Dr. Fred Smith and others, and so I have very, very fond memories, sad memories in a way, but very fond memories of the time that I spent here. And my children, I have 3 children, triplets. People are always asking. They're 19, they're sophomores in college, they're all out of the house, thank God, yay. But they do come back a lot. We're always over at the medical building over here where their doctors are. So this is just an absolutely terrific addition to our city, to the medical care. Sibley not only operates here, but they operate across the river over United Medical Center and have a cancer facility there, and just do enormous good for our city, along with Johns Hopkins, who has partnered with Sibley here. So just want to thank you all, and I'm just very pleased to be a part of this great celebration today. Thank you.
The resolution that we have celebrates a certain dimension of this wonderful new building that many of you may not fully appreciate, so I'd like to read the resolution to you. Whereas the incorporation of environmentally friendly technology and infrastructure was a priority in the renewal of Sibley Memorial Hospital campus, a project that encompassed 460,000 square foot addition and 9,000 square foot renovation, whereas the new Sibley building represents a substantial expansion of the number of patient services available to the community, upgraded services, the addition of these 200 fully private patient rooms, expanded outpatient medical oncology, radiation oncology, and a new women's and infants service department, whereas the new Sibley's building's sustainable features include Two of the largest vegetative roofs of any healthcare facility in the district that will prevent approximately 310,000 gallons of water from entering the stormwater system. Two large cisterns that will divert runoff rainwater to be used for the hospital's lawns and plants. One of the largest gabion walls in the district area that supports animal and plant life and has saved over 200 yards of concrete. 5 rain gardens that serve as retention ponds to collect runoff water from parking lots, and the relocation of existing large trees and the planting of dozens of new trees on the property. And you can see the beautiful area behind you. Whereas the Radiation Oncology Center is a leadership in energy and environmental design, LEED certified, gold certified by the U.S. Green Buildings Council, and the new Sibley building is on track to meet LEED gold certification when the final details are worked out. Whereas Sibley Hospital was recognized by Becker's Hospital Review as one of the 50 greenest hospitals and environmentally conscious hospitals in reducing energy and waste, choosing safer and less toxic products, and serving healthy meals throughout its participation in the Healthy Hospitals Initiatives Challenge. And whereas the District of Columbia is a national leader in the promotion and implementation of environmentally conscious policies and strives to celebrate our local efforts to protect the environment through sustainable building design and construction, be it resolved by the Council of the District of Columbia, again, unanimously, that this resolution may be cited as the Sibley Memorial Hospital New Sibley Recognition and Appreciation Resolution of 2016, and I would like to present it at this time.
Okay, thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jerry Price.
Yeah. So thank you. That was very special indeed. We believe we've achieved certified gold LEED status in our very green hospital. The only thing, Mary, you forgot in your resolution is our beehives that we put on our, and we just harvested the first 60 pounds of Sibley honey, by the way. So people often ask me what makes Sibley such a special place. And my response is always the same. It's the truly amazing and dedicated people that come here every day to care for their fellow man. We have 2,100 staff members and 915 credentialed providers. 3,000 people come here every day to take care of our community. And I want to recognize them for the tremendous dedication and hard work that they've put forth for many, many years to our community. Another very important group is our volunteers. So Sibley has a very long history of volunteers who provide service to our hospital. The volunteer service was established in 1959. And we have over 350 active members who come here on a daily and weekly basis. And they serve an absolutely critical role and are members of our team. Sibley is also a family. It's a family where we have staff who, generation after generation, come and work at this facility. We have staff members who've worked here for 50 years. Their children work here, and their grandchildren may indeed work here. So these individuals, I believe, exemplify the commitment to serve our community and beyond. For more than 125 years, families from across the region have trusted Sibley to provide the highest quality medical services and personalized care for their families that they can receive. From newborns to seniors, Sibley is the hospital of choice in DC. It is now my privilege and honor to introduce the chairman of our Board of Trustees, Ted Miller. Ted Ted and his family literally built the Spring Valley community, and their commitment to Sibley has been unparalleled. Ted?
Thank you, Chip. There's not much more I can say that hasn't already been said, but I'll try. First of all, thank you so much for being part of this momentous occasion in the history of Sibley Memorial Hospital. 2 of my children were born at Sibley, and one began her career as an OB nurse here. Both of my parents were cared for when they developed cancer. Sibley has been here for many friends and family in their hour of need, including my dear friend, A. Wallace Moore, Jr., emeritus member of the board of Sibley Hospital. His health failing rapidly, it was suggested he would be more comfortable at home, but insisted on staying here at Sibley. He was happy here, surrounded by caring nurses, staff, and attentive physicians who helped him through what was inevitable. He passed away just a few weeks ago. People make the difference here at Sibley, and it's no secret that they are our greatest asset. But without the right tools, the best will fail. So today I'm pleased to introduce you to the new Sibley. Not only is it a beautiful place, but it is state-of-the-art and designed to welcome new babies, to heal the sick, mend the broken, and care for families in an atmosphere that is as comfortable as home, while all providing our team the best tools to fulfill our mission. Of course, none of this would be achievable without the generous support and input from our community. A board of trustees who thoughtfully but boldly face the future with courage. Physicians and nurses and staff whose input helped to define the new Sibley, and leaders like Bob Sloan, Chip Davis, Jerry Price, Ron Peterson, President of Johns Hopkins Health, and Paul Rothman, Dean and CEO of Johns Hopkins Medicine, whose vision always kept us reaching beyond today with an ever-vigilant focus on our mission. So on behalf of a grateful board, let me thank you all for your many contributions to the new Sibley. But more especially, I'd like to recognize and thank Mr. Sloan for your vision of what the future will be and your patience to see it through. And to Chip Davis for picking up the ball and bringing the Sibley family together with a focus on how best to make our work in the new Sibley the safest and best experience for our patients. As you've heard, we can't do this in a vacuum, and we're very grateful for the support that the city provides us. Without the support of the city, this project and others like the new Proton Therapy Center, now under construction next door, would not be possible. So I'm pleased to recognize and welcome our mayor, Mayor Bowser, to say a few words. Thank you all for being here. Congratulations.
Well, good morning, everybody. I am very much delighted to be here at the new Sibley, as you say, after 125 years of service to the residents of the District of Columbia. I think that this incredible investment in the city will definitely mean we can have another 125 years. So to the board of directors, all of the staff, doctors and nurses and people who serve our residents, I want to congratulate you and to thank you. And to you, Chip, I think you all know this. You have a dynamic president and CEO who is so well respected, not only in the medical community, but in the business community of the District of Columbia. And Sibley has a huge footprint in that business community. So I want to thank you for your service. I got to know Chip really well, tromping around China with Jack Evans, where we were talking about healthcare, where we were talking about all of the differences that we could make. So I want to thank you, Chip, for your leadership. To my friends on the council, it is true, Mr. Chairman, that the council and the mayor pay very close attention to how we can be supportive of this type of investment, and I'm pleased that we could be involved in this project as well. Let me also recognize our Director of the Department of Health, Dr. LaQuandra Nesbitt, who is here, who is there to make sure that all the residents that we serve, we should be very proud in our city that 95% of the people in the District of Columbia have insurance. And we should also challenge ourselves to make sure that all of those people are availing themselves of the quality health care that is available in the District of Columbia. And so we have some work to do in that area to make sure more and more DC residents have the doctor, know their doctor, and are availing themselves of care so that we can have the health outcomes that the investments that we make in health care really indicate. So we know how important Sibley is, and we want to thank you for your leadership around the city, not only here in Ward 3, but we know that residents come from all over Washington, D.C. to have care in the district, and Sibley is taking excellence to other neighborhoods in Washington, D.C. So we appreciate your partnership with the United Medical Center and Howard University. And those partnerships are incredibly important so that we are learning lessons, sharing best practices, and delivering quality care all across the city. When I was here, Chip gave me a hard hat tour before we got done, and I must say that these are indeed state-of-the-art facilities, and that is also something, a best practice that we can share when we're thinking about building other hospitals. But what became very clear is that we didn't want our residents, no offense against Baltimore, we love Baltimore too, but you shouldn't have to go to Baltimore for life-saving care. And we know that the destination in Washington, D.C. for life-saving cancer care can be found right here at Sibley Memorial. So let me say thank you again, congratulate you on this incredible investment. Know that you have a partner in the District of Columbia. I sat down with a business leader some time ago. He had a little company in Washington, D.C. Called the Washington Post. And when I was first elected, he told me, you know, nobody from the city ever checks on us. They don't think we need anything. They forget that we employ thousands of people and that, you know, they pay taxes, they're residents here, they're visitors here. Nobody ever says, you know, how are you doing, Washington Post? And sometimes we can forget that. So I just want to say to Sibley that we're not going to forget your commitment and your investment, and we're going to check on you to make sure that the city is doing all that it can do to support your efforts here. So good luck and congratulations.
So as the mayor said, I had the privilege of traveling with her and a few of the council members. And I will tell you that I was impressed by two things, more than two things, but two things that I remember. The first was we actually toured a primary care facility. It was Cuba. I wasn't going to say anything. Cuba, China, Cuba. And when we toured this facility, the mayor's questions were spot on. And I said to her afterwards, you know, how impressed I was. And I found out one very important thing for all of you nurses here. Like me, her mom was a nurse. And I can tell you that our mayor absolutely understands the challenges that we have around healthcare. And the other thing, Mayor, that I will tell you is I always want to travel internationally like that. I've never gotten through security so fast in my life. With that, I'd like to introduce Ron Peterson. Ron Peterson is not only my boss, but my mentor. I have had the privilege to work with Ron for over 20 years at Johns Hopkins. And Ron is the president of Johns Hopkins Health System and the Executive Vice President of Johns Hopkins Medicine. And he is the epitome of a steady leader. Ron.
Well, thank you very much, Chip. Good morning, everyone. What a very special day for Sibley Memorial Hospital. I must begin by thanking you, Chip, for your leadership, if you would pay attention for one moment. I'm trying to thank you.
Something about the mic. I'm actually supposed to move the mic.
I was just trying to thank you and your team. Earlier, you referenced the vision set forth by the Board of Trustees for Sibley to build on the strong, vibrant history of the institution and to create a compassionate center for clinical innovation and excellence. And that vision is being realized each day, and the new state-of-the-art facility has now been built for optimum patient experience, patient safety as well, providing a new home for the area's best medical professionals. Now, over the past 6 years that I've had the privilege of serving on the board here, I've had the pleasure to get to know the leaders of Sibley, not just the board and executive leadership, but the clinical and nursing leaders as well. And they are all unmatched in their respective fields, invested in the DC community, fully committed to delivering the highest quality, compassionate care. Johns Hopkins was excited by the opportunity to partner with Sibley Memorial Hospital based on the important role the hospital has played in the region, but also based on the mission-mindedness of the institution. We envisioned a partnership that would provide greater access to world-class experts, clinical trials, and innovative technology for the benefit of the community of medical professionals in the district and, of course, the patients whom they serve. Sibley is not only changing the face of medicine, but also setting standards that are a model for progressive community hospitals across this nation. None of this would be possible without the dedication of our physicians. I would like to thank the private practice physicians for their support of Sibley each and every day, because we know you have other options, and we are proud and honored that you choose Sibley. I am constantly impressed and amazed at the high quality care and dedication that our physician partners provide. Your contributions to Sibley and our patients go beyond superlative clinical care. Many of you are engaged in groundbreaking innovations that are redefining the practice of medicine. Many others of you are leaders in your respective disciplines and throughout the community. Again, we are so very honored to have you as our Sibley partners. At Johns Hopkins, we are learning a great deal through our partnership. For example, Dr. Martin Paul's exceptional work on enhanced recovery from surgery is a great example of the innovative work of Sibley's medical staff that will improve care and outcomes in the district and in Baltimore. This relationship between Johns Hopkins and Sibley Memorial has benefited both organizations, but most importantly, it has benefited our patients. After all, that is why each and every one of us get up and come to work every day. Now, finally, I would like to recognize the tremendous generosity of the Sibley family and the greater community. As Chip has mentioned, the staff, volunteers, and community have established an amazing foundation here at Sibley, and it is on that strong foundation the future will be built. You should all be very, very proud of what you have accomplished. Congratulations. Thank you.
Great. So as you've heard, we really have tried to put patients and their families at the center of everything that we've done building this new tower. All decisions and all designs had input from our patients, their families, our staff, and their physicians. This is particularly true in our newly expanded excuse me, Sidney Kimmel Cancer Center that was established in partnership with Johns Hopkins. This partnership has allowed Sibley to provide world-class cancer care that typically you would only be able to receive at an academic medical center. In addition, our partnership with both Johns Hopkins and Children's National Medical Center has resulted in our ability to have the first program of its kind in pediatric radiation oncology here in Washington, D.C. In fact, just last month, we treated our first pediatric radiation oncology patient, and I can tell you folks, it was a very special moment when he rang his graduation bell, signifying that he was done with his course of treatment. It was a very special moment. At Sibley, we believe in listening to ensure that our patients and their families' voices are heard. We are privileged today to be joined by Dot Svensson and her husband, Doug. Dot was treated for fallopian tube cancer in 2014 in our GYN-ONC team here at Sibley. She successfully completed treatment and has become an integral part of our Sibley family. Dot is an active member within the support group for GYN oncology patients, and she is also a patient mentor. Dot and Doug also generously agreed to participate in a video series to provide support and education to cancer patients. We are honored that Dot has chosen to share her experience with others, and I am especially pleased that she and Doug are here today with us. Dot and Doug, we thank you so much for all that you do for Sibley. Our new tower will provide, as you've heard, truly state-of-the-art abilities to deliver treatments to our patients. We are very fortunate, as you heard Mr. Peterson say, to have truly world-class physicians on the medical staff here at Sibley. I'd like to invite Dr. Therese O'Donnell, the director of our hospitalist service, to the podium to share her perspective on how this new tower will impact the practice of medicine. Therese?
Good morning and welcome. What a great day for the medical staff at Sibley and all of our patients. As I've sat here this morning and listened to all the stories about the wonderful care your families, your friends, and acquaintances have gotten here at Sibley, I can only say that I am honored to be part of the Sibley community as a whole, and I'm privileged to be part of the medical staff at Sibley, providing care alongside some of the most wonderful, talented physicians in the nation. I'd like to give a shout out or a clap of applause for all the physicians, the nurses, and all of the care providers who have actually been able to be here today. As we've heard, the Sibley community as a whole is committed to providing the best and most compassionate care to all of our patients and their families. This is only accomplished by clearly multidisciplinary collaboration. We rely on the nurses, physicians, occupational therapists, pharmacists, and all of the care teams in the hospital and Sibley. This new tower is going to allow us to provide that care more comprehensively. The size and the furnishings of each of the private rooms is going to create a welcoming atmosphere for patients and their families to remain in the hospital, be present during the hospitalization, and participate in the healing process. This will also create a better understanding for them of what it will be like when the patients and the families go home and the recovery period. The technology to chart at the bedside will promote the sharing of information and a more open dialogue. with the patient and their caregivers. This will be a dynamic process throughout the hospital stay. The infection prevention design features will contribute to excellent outcomes and improved patient experience. And in my role as a hospitalist, this new tower, the size of the rooms, will allow for more comprehensive, multidisciplinary rounding on each unit with all staff, presenting with a unified message and a cohesive plan of care for patients and their caregivers.
Our final speaker this morning is Michael Farr. So Michael is the chairman of our foundation. And our foundation plays an absolutely critical role at this institution. Michael's family has a long history here at Sibley. His grandfather was chairman of the board for 50 years, Michael? For 50 years, and retired, get this folks, as chair at age 100. So, Michael, I think you have a lot of years ahead of you. And with that, I'd like to introduce Mr. Farr, who has a few words to say.
Thank you so much, and thank you all for being here this morning. I understand as cleanup, blessed are the brief, so I'll try and do that. This is a great day. This is a historical day, not just for Sibley Hospital and our community, not just for the city of Washington, but for this state-of-the-art healthcare facility. This is the most advanced facility now that's going to open in the country, and it's here in Washington and available to our community and each of us, and it's here because people said yes. It's here because people said that they would help, they would lend a hand, and that they would join us as volunteers in recognizing something that's really important to all of us, providing excellent and quality care for every person, every time. 125 years ago, William Sibley made a $10,000 donation to honor his wife, Dorothea. And here we are, 125 years later. We started a board in 2007, pulled a board together to start a foundation to raise money for the sole single purpose of supporting Sibley Hospital and everything they needed here. We have 25 board members. A number of them are here today, have been very generous with time, talent, and treasure, and we can't thank you all enough. I'd like you to think for 1 second, and I want to thank you for the ripple that you've started today. And the ripple that you've started today starts with just saying yes. Because in 1957, Stacy Reed was asked to join the board of Sibley Hospital, and he said yes. And the hospital was on North Capitol Street. And we talk about these long family relationships. Stacy was born in 1899. It was amazing. He died in December of 2000. He saw a lot in the city. But that my children were born here is a part of lots of our stories. But that Stacy sat and talked with me as I grew up about what was going on at Sibley, what was going on in the community, talked about this young man he and my grandmother had just interviewed named Bob Sloan, and my grandmother couldn't get over the fact that Sloan was wearing bell-bottoms. She said, he's so young and he wears those pants, what do they call them? It was a pretty cool choice that they made. He talked about Sibley, and I hadn't thought about Sibley Hospital, but it was one of those things and one of those germs and seeds that gets planted, and I couldn't shake it. I think he would be amazed to see this building, to think that what he started over there has turned into this that's still going to continue to serve generations of Washingtonians. The family story involved with Sibley, my father's in the back. My father is getting ready to turn 91. He was born at Sibley Hospital on North Capitol Street. My sister is sitting next to him. She's chairing the Celebration of Hope and Progress Gala in a couple of weeks. You're all invited. We hope that you will come. Tickets are on sale. Donations are appreciated. My sister Stephanie is here as well. This is a family enterprise. Think about what Stacy started when he said yes, and when Bob Sloan called me and said, would you consider being on the Board of Trustees? And I said, yes, of course, yes. And we've called other people. Calvin Kafritz is here today, and so are Tina and Rob Silberman. Both have made very generous donations to Sibley. And you know what they did? When we asked them, they said yes. They said yes. I don't know if you've ever been able to do it, but I sat with a lady 10 years ago in her apartment. She was in her 90s, and I asked her, we talked about Sibley, we talked about her family, and I asked her for $5 million just to give it to us, just to give us $5 million. And I talked about the changes that it would make for generations to come. Lives that would absolutely be changed, and lives that would exist, and lives that would survive because of her gift. And she said yes. We invited you all here today to come and be a part of this great moment on this fabulous new campus. You said yes. We are so grateful to each and every one of you for caring, for being a part of this watershed moment in healthcare in the District of Columbia. Madam Mayor and council members, we are so grateful for you that you're here and for your support. As you enjoy this tour, I hope you will all celebrate this moment with us. We could not have done it without you. We would not be here without you. Thank you so much for saying yes and for being here today.
Thank you very much, Michael. You can see now why Michael is the chair of the foundation. So in closing, I just have to thank all of you one more time. As a hospital CEO, I can tell you that it is a dream to open a new facility like this, let alone a truly world-class facility. So, Madam Mayor, our other dignitaries, council members, thank you so very much for coming today. It is an honor and a privilege to be involved with this building of this new tower, and now we'd love to show it to you. So for those of you who will be going on tours, we would like you to, Kristen's pointing to me, Vanna, what are you saying there? Oh, by the stairs. Thank you very much. So for those of you who would like to join us on a tour, please congregate over by the stairs. And I would like to, by the way, I'm just seeing one final person I want to recognize, and that's the world-renowned sculptor, John Safer, who is sitting over in our front row. John's beautiful sculpture is standing right next to him, and he created that for all of our patients here at Sibley. So John, thank you so very much. And with that, thank you so much for coming today. Take care.